Thank you, everybody, for coming to the 9th workshop on hot topics in privacy-enhancing technologies, HotPETS 2016. I'd like to introduce the people behind the program today in some sense. I had some great co-chairs that helped put together this workshop. Sadia Afroz from ICSI, who was unfortunately not able to be here today. And also Moritz Bartel of the Renewable Freedom Foundation, who is over there, so you can thank him or blame him. And then there's myself from the US Naval Research Laboratory. So the three of us kind of did everything. So if you have any complaints or well wishes or compliments, you can blame the three of us. We kind of did everything from publicizing to deciding the papers to putting the website, deciding what goes on the website. So it was kind of all rolled into one for us. Okay, so I kind of wanted to explain what HotPETS is as opposed to PETS. There's a question of if it was not hot enough yet this week, do we really want to get hotter? So, but we will. It's going to get hotter, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. So, yeah, there wasn't actually a proposal for cool pets that may appear in future years, but not this year. So we have some separate goals or slightly different goals from HotPETS. One is that we try to present new ideas more. We prioritize that more, or less mature work we're open to and even invite people to present so that you can give ideas before it's fully formed and would appear in a journal, for example, so you can get feedback or so people can get early results. Also, we try to be accessible to communities that don't typically publish academic papers. So if you're a journalist or you write code for a living, you might not want to or really know how to write a 15-page Proceedings of Privacy-Enhancing Technology Symposium paper. But if you want to reach this community and you'd like to talk about what you do, HotPETS is a great venue for you to submit to. We just ask for a 2-page proposal just telling us what you're going to talk about, and we're open to any kind of format. You don't need to have references, so we try to be accessible a little beyond the core audience of academics to mix communities a bit. We also prioritize group discussions, so we have a fairly long time for each talk, at least relative to this year's PETS, 25 minutes, but we ask the authors to only use a part of that and reserve a great deal of that for people to talk. So I know there are lots of individual discussions that happen during the week, and there are some questions that happen during the PETS talks, but we give a lot more time so that you can have a 2-minute back and forth if there's enough time for your individual question, and as a group we can kind of hear what other people think, and I think there's value to that. And also we're sort of a little trying to have fun, trying to be a little more relaxed here at HotPETS. So in that spirit, I thought I would try to give you some analogies for the difference between pets and HotPETS if the raw facts didn't kind of get the message across. Okay, so pets might be more like the family dog. It's dependable, he's reliable, and he's around for a long time. Where HotPETS might be more like your cute new puppy. He's more rambunctious. He makes a little bit more noise, but he has his own unique value. Another analogy, you could say pets is like the awesome power of the dark side, Darth Vader. This is a guy whose power you can't deny, and he's going to take over and rule the universe with an iron fist. Where HotPETS might be more like Kylo Ren, the Force Awakens villain who is undeniably powerful in his own right, but is a little more impetuous and a little bit out of control, let's say. And a final analogy, pets might be the esteemed chair of computer science, or chaired professor of computer science at a very highly esteemed university in 2016, where HotPETS might be year 2000. Brilliant cyberpunk Ian Goldberg. Okay, so some logistics here to explain how this whole thing works so you know what you're seeing. We did ask for 2-page talk submissions, so we just asked people to tell us what they were going to say. And we only do talks. There aren't any proceedings. This allows you to just talk about something and then publish it elsewhere. We want to allow that. and the decision was made by just the co-chairs. There wasn't a big PC, it's just the three of us, so it's kind of ruled by triumvirate, I guess. I'd also like to suggest how we do fit into HotPETS publishing, how you might work HotPETS into your HotPETS submission eventually. So on the right, we can see the possibly tortuous life cycle of a HotPETS submission, all the way through major revisions to maybe minor revisions to hopefully accept. And so you could see HotPETS as a parallel option, yet another opportunity to be judged by your peers, which is always great, but it has some separate properties, so it's not the same thing, but there's some mutually beneficial effects that can happen here. So we're happy to consider your currently not accepted or about to be accepted papers into PETS, and we hope that that happens sometime. So you can come even if your paper didn't get the decision that it wants, if we thought it would make a good HotPETS talk. And then in the reverse, we hope that we could serve as an initial starting point for ideas that do make it into a HotPETS paper at some point. And this might be a good place to show those initial ideas and get some feedback before you turn it over to the terrifying reviewers. Okay, so the logistics for the schedule today, we selected 9 talks. We got 29 submissions. That was a 50% increase over last year. So our acceptance rate is getting a bit low. It was never my hope to make this a highly selective, very difficult to get into venue. So if this trend continues, future chairs may consider changing the format, increasing the number of talks or something like that. So, but that is happening. We're giving 25 minutes a talk, 3/5 of which we are asking the authors to limit themselves to if possible so that we can have a full 10 minutes of discussion. And we really encourage people to ask questions. So for this workshop, we have set up 2 mics, one on both sides of the room, so you don't have to traipse across the entire aisle or wend your way around the entire room to get to a nearby mic. So hopefully that makes it easier for you to just jump up when you have an idea and add it to the discussion. So please feel free to, and please do use both mics as convenient for you. We'll have 4 sessions, and we'll also have a keynote that's going to happen right before lunch. Dan Meredith of the Open Technology Fund will be giving that talk. I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. I've only read the abstract, just as you have, but I've heard really great things about Dan Meredith from our esteemed co-chair, Moritz Bartel, who knows him quite well. And I think he brings a really valuable and interesting perspective, somebody who's worked as an activist, as a journalist, and now as a funder, and has a really impressive record of funding highly impactful privacy technologies. So I'm really looking forward to what he has to say right before lunch. Similar to PETS, some of our talks will be recorded, some of them will not, and we've asked the videographers not to record the question and answer session that happens after the talk so that the discussion can be a little more open, a little less self-conscious, so that should not be recorded at all. We have a tradition at HotPETS of having an ice cream break. I guess this would fall under the fun category, check ice cream. So that will happen right before the last session, so you can look forward to that and save room for some delicious ice cream. Also a tradition that we have is we give a Best Talk Award. This is an audience vote award. And the criteria that we are asking for is what was the best talk, not necessarily what ideas do you think will make the biggest impact in the world or are solving the most difficult problem, although that would certainly suggest a talk could be very effective, but we would like to reward people who put an effort into giving a good talk, and that's something that doesn't always happen or maybe rightfully is a lower priority for highly technical works, but we are trying to be a talk format. So please think while you're listening to the talks today, which one or ones you liked, and then there'll be a chance to vote during the concluding remarks. We have a mystery prize that is privacy theme appropriate, and you will see what that is at the end. Okay. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our first session chair, Ryan Henry, and our first speakers. So thanks everybody for coming to HotPETS, and I hope you really enjoy it.